So in this segment, we're going to be discussing something you rarely see. Nick Ferrari torches the Tories. Honestly, this is just funny, especially his interview with Dowden. But let's have a watch of this clip.
Of your senior colleagues, long-serving, one of whom has had allegations of bullying and sexual misconduct put against them. Another faces charge of rape and drugs offences, all of which they deny. But despite their protestations...
There's nothing funny about any of those allegations, to be fair. Nothing.
It's the same old Tories, isn't it? Same old sleaze.
No, not at all. I mean, obviously, these are serious allegations, and I think the whip's been suspended. And I mean, all you can do in these cases is, support the institutions that are involved. If the police are involved, then support them to do their job.
I don't think the institutions actually work there. That's one of the problem. That's something that I think a lot of ministerial aides and kind of other people have talked about, the fact that the system's not built to support victims. It's designed to support the perpetrators. There's not enough support. I think there should be more kind of anonymous ways for people who work under MPs to get allegations out there. Something because we've seen it before. There were allegations of Islamophobia against certain Tory MPs and went absolutely nowhere. So I think that a lot more has to be done here.
If it's the parliamentary standards, support them. Well, it's not. There are. If you look back, there's quite often, it's from other parties as well.
Tractor porn, all sorts of things. It's always Tories.
Not going to get monetised.
What is it with you guys and women?
Well, I would say I've been in Parliament now for 6.
To be fair, most of the time it's Tory women that are victims of Tory male MPs. So, not really going to put too much. Not going to blame the women for this one.
In a bit years, and I must say, honestly, personally, I've never seen any impacts or any sort of any of this kind of behaviour. But
does that make it okay? Like, I think you want to talk to Caroline Noakes. Really, she's the one that I think has seen more than her. Seen a lot of it. To be fair,
clearly, when it happens, it does happen, and all you can do in those cases,
bloody fireworks.
I mean, the PM's been clear. We expect high standards. We'll always follow due process. We'll always support the institutions to do the investigations or what they need to do.
Yeah, I don't buy it. I think to allege it's always the Tories. I don't think that's true. There have been allegations, I think, against certain Labour MPs as well, but not as many. But you could argue the Tories are a much bigger pie. There's many more of them in Parliament. But I think there is something dark within the Tory party, especially some of the stuff they said about Rayner during the start of the year. That was pretty gross, bordering on, I think, harassment kind of thing. But yeah, I don't agree with all of this. But he's put same old sleaze. I think that's a reference to the 90s where there was a lot of dodgy actions going on under Major's government. But I think this one's a bit more fun. That interview definitely wasn't given the allegations there. But Oliver Dowden always a great sleep aid or good for a laugh.
Mr. Dowden, we hear about change. You've had more reboots and changes than Doctor Who. You're still about as popular as Bad Breath. Why?
That's one hell of a way to open up an interview. More reboots than Doctor Who, which Doctor Who has had a lot of reboots and changes, and you're as popular as Bad Breath.
Well, first of all, I take by-elections and indeed opinion polls with a bit of a pinch of salt, and I'll tell you why, which is they are expressing people's views on the government that has been in power for a period of time. When it comes to the general election, there is a choice. And there's only two people who can be Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak or Keir Starmer. And I'm confident both in the vision that Rishi Sunak set out and in the leadership he's capable of giving.
Okay, let's go back quickly. Let's hold up. In the vision, what vision does Rishi Sunak have? Because he scrapped HS2.
In the vision,
he scrapped the second leg of HS2 that would actually be the bits that people needed. And all he's done is put them on the slow train from Birmingham to Manchester, and he's built it from Old Oak Common, which I'm still convinced is not a real place.
That Rishi Sunak set out, and in the leadership he's capable of giving. And
what leadership? We have seen no leadership from Rishi Sunak, not on the economy, where he was like, oh yeah, we're not going to do anything about inflation. Where is this leadership?
Indeed, you can see that right now in the crisis that we're facing. Well, him standing tall on the global stage. So I have
standing tall. Where? Rishi Sunak never stands tall, literally and metaphorically. The guy's not a giant. He's a small king in spirit and size and stature. I don't want to diss a fellow short king, but this argument of him standing tall, it's non-existent. You've got here a situation where People asked, do you think the Tories, Sunak saying we've achieved a lot in the year since I became Prime Minister. British people, the majority, 40%, or at least the biggest poll group, saying saying Sunak hasn't done much at all. 37% saying not much at all. 14% saying not saying a fair amount. And 2% saying a great deal. These aren't the best metrics to use, because how do you define what is a fair amount versus a great deal or not much at all? But you can see, I think the majority of people don't think they've done much. And even the majority of Tories, look, 24% of Tories say they've not done much at all, but 44% say, sorry, not much at all. The Tories have not done much at all. 44% of the Tories polled. That's nuts. You got 28%, obviously majority group Labour saying not much at all. Lib Dems 48%, but this one here, the not much at all group, that is very high amongst the Conservatives, and that is not good news for Sunak, but it's good news for the rest of us. So we take those, easy dub. I did want to discuss this clip, but we'll discuss it in a separate one, which is 22% of the 2019 Conservative voters now say they don't know how they'd vote, and that's going to be a massive problem for Sunak in terms of holding on to any sort of majority. And I can see it being a position where if he manages to get a hung parliament, he will take that. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Nick Ferrari, rare credit indeed. Thanks for getting me demonetized on this video, bro. And he asked the questions that I think needed to be asked, which is, there is a massive, I think sleaze is the wrong word there. It's something illegal and gross, I think. A very dangerous attitude towards women that exists within the Tory party, I think, and towards staffers and aides. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.